Maybe I shouldn't do wide angle.
Yeah, I'm just gonna look at my phone so then you don't even.
Okay, there we go.
Delete that video.
All right, here's my audience.
No, you gotta have bloopers. You gotta keep them.
Is Justin gonna walk in? Okay. All right. Do you know that what you eat and where it comes from matters? We all know that eating tons of fruits and vegetables is good for us, right? But today I'm going to share with you why it's important and better for you to buy local produce rather than buy it from your local grocery store. What you eat and where it comes from has a huge impact on your health, economy, environment, and community. Anywhere from social benefits to health benefits, here are the main reasons why you should swap to buying local produce today. So first we have your health and longevity. Pretty important, right? So first, local produce is fresher. Have you ever been out at a strawberry farm and picked a fresh, juicy, ripe red strawberry from the vine?
Oh yeah.
It's a lot better than getting it from the grocery store, right? Well, why is that? So not only does fresher food taste better, but it also has a higher nutritional value. Well, how is that possible? So when your food is harvested, it immediately starts losing nutritional value as soon as it's picked from the vine. According to the University of California, an estimated of 30% of nutritional value is lost just 3 days after your food is harvested. That's a lot of nutritional value that's lost. When you go to your local farmer's market, you know when the produce was picked. You also are getting the food directly from the source. When you shop locally, you are less likely to have contaminated food. Who here likes contaminated food?
Not me.
Contaminated food equals bad, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
How many times have you heard of food being contaminated when you go to your grocery store, or have heard of recalls happening? Okay. When you go to your farmer's market, how often do you hear of food being recalled or contaminated there?
Zero.
Not very often, right? Because you're knowing where your food comes from. It has less steps to get to distribution. So it goes through less hands, less trucks, less distribution, less likely to be contaminated. Buying locally also supports your seasonal needs. So eating seasonally is one of the best ways to eat and is very healthy for your body. If you didn't know, our bodies require different kinds of foods per whatever season it is. So in the summer, you might be wanting foods, more cooling foods like fresh vegetables and fresh foods, such as berries. And in the winter, our bodies might require more rich, heartier foods such as root vegetables. When you buy locally, your farmer's market is always going to have food that's in season because it's growing in your area. Buying locally also promotes variety. When you go to the grocery store, a lot of the produce that is chosen to be there is chosen for its ability to ripen uniformly and to last a long time on the shelves. This creates a limited genetic diversity in the store. Compared to your local farmer's market who keeps hundreds of different varieties alive every single year. So another reason to go to your farmer's market is you might find food that you've never heard of before and get to try some new things. Not only does buying locally benefit your health, but it also benefits your local community. When you buy local, you're supporting your local farmers. Farm families and family-owned businesses are directly supported when you buy their produce. In return, they're going to grow you more delicious, fresh produce. You're also supporting sustainable agriculture. Buying locally encourages local agriculture and crop variety diversification, which makes us less reliable on monoculture. What is monoculture? Monoculture is when you get one crop and you grow a ton of it over a big mass of land, which helps pump out a lot of the same thing to spread it all over the world, right? Well, that's really bad for the soil, and it causes that produce or that crop to be more susceptible to pests and diseases. Now, when that happens, your food's more likely to have more pesticides to compensate for that happening. And we know that we do not like pesticides in our food. Very bad for you. The opposite of that is polyculture, which is what a lot of local farmers do here. It's where you have a variety of crops and you grow them over a massive land, which is really good for the soil and creates a good balanced ecosystem. You're also supporting your local economy. So you're supporting your local jobs by buying locally. You're helping your farmers markets, your local shops grow more food for you, which is just good for everybody. And last but not least, buying locally is better for the environment, which we should all care about. It's where we live. When you buy local produce, you're helping reduce CO2 emissions. If you didn't know, roughly 25 to 35% of global emissions come from our food systems. That's a big percentage. 21% is coming from specifically crop production, and a lot of that comes from monoculture. Local produce, or buying local produce, significantly decreases CO2 emissions because you're not transporting all those crops all over the world, and you're just keeping it local, and you're being a lot better for the environment that way. You're also going to help produce less waste. Look at all that waste. That's a lot of waste, right? So, this is a big number, but a quarter of food emissions ends up as waste. So, when you think about all the food that's being transported all over the world to feed everybody, how much of that food do you think goes bad in the process? There's a lot of wasted food, a lot of food that could be feeding tons of people that ends up as waste, which is just not good for our ecosystem. It's not good for anybody. When you have a shorter distribution chain, you get less waste, which is what our farmers markets are for. Our food goes directly from being grown in someone's garden or farm directly to being sold to you and on your plate. The bottom line is buying local benefits your health, your economy, your community, and environment. And local produce is fresher, more flavorful, and more nutritious. So, you support your local farmers today, you're going to guarantee that you have fresh food tomorrow, and that's good for everybody. Thank you.
Hold on,
Awesome.
I gotta get everybody in here.